Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Tank be chopping, and we back with another haircut tutorial. As y'all can see, my man just got a fresh pair of braids on top. This is my man Johan. He works with me at the shop, and he said, "Hey Tank, can you give me a haircut real quick?" I was like, you know what? Let's record this for YouTube. So as y'all can see, we're taking the sides down. He was getting the taper previously, but once he got braids, he decided to do a fade. So I'm taking my number 2 guard, and I'm taking the sides down all the way to that number 2 guard. So I'm coming up right to where the short hair meets the long hair. I'm not gonna cut any of the long hair on top, obviously, and like I said, these are a fresh pair of braids, so they're pretty braided pretty good, so the hair isn't coming out. I really don't have to worry about cutting, but I can snag if I'm putting the clipper too close to the head and going too far upward, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to take my time, debulk the sides with number 2 guard, get it all down to that length. That way we can actually start our fade work. But as you can see, I'm being really consistent with that number 2 guard, making sure that I move the braids out the way. Like y'all can see here, I have to pick them up in the back. That way I can actually get all this hair down. And in the back, it was a little harder for me because I couldn't angle my clipper upward like I normally would to get that down. So the hair closer to the top, to where the braids are, I'm gonna actually go back in with the shears and get all that down here in a second. But before that, as y'all can see, once again, we're taking that 2 guard. I am using my wall magic clips, the barber combo, the black edition, you know what I'm saying? And solid tool, you know what I'm saying? In case you're interested, I do have a review on these, so make sure to check that out. But it's a solid tool, nonetheless, number 2 guard. Now I'm taking my shears, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting those little hairs right before where the shorter hair meets the braids, and I'm just snipping all that down, getting it down to about the same length. That way it doesn't look like he has longer strands of hair coming out. Alright, so now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and take my wall high-vis trimmer. I'm gonna punch in my initial bald guideline going around the head, and we are gonna drop this fade down in the back a little bit, kind of following the shape of the braids, but we're not gonna go as low in the back. But as you can see, I'm setting in that bald guideline, balding him out, and then I'm just gonna do this all the way around the head until everything is nice and bald, and then after that, we're gonna follow that up with the shaver. So if you are interested, guys, I do have a review on this tool also, the Wall High Vis. Great trimmer, man. And if you're interested in any of these products, you can go to wallpro.com and use my discount code TANK10, or you can go to FW Barber Supply and use my discount code TANK10 there also. You know, they have all the different brands of tools, so if you want to mix and match your tools, I suggest going to fwbarbersupply.com, using my discount code TANK10, save yourself some money, and just, you know, getting the tools you want. But like I said, now we're doing the shaver, getting all that down to that bald length, and now I'm going in with my clipper. Once again, the wall magic clips, lever open, and I'm setting in my next guideline. We are going to continue to follow the shape that we originally created because that's basically the end shape we want to achieve. So I'm making sure that I follow that shape and drop it down in the back. And as y'all can see, I'm just being really consistent on what I'm doing. I'm taking my time, I'm not rushing. I know some people like to rush through haircuts and try to get haircuts out in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's really not who I am, you know what I'm saying? That's really not what I do. I take my time, I'm real consistent with what I'm doing, and I just try to give my client the best cut. But now I'm going in with my 1 guard lever open, and I'm basically trying to blend into that number 2 guard. Now I know it's not going to blend perfect. I know I'm going to have to come in with my 1.5 guard, but if I can make it blend a little easier without using my 1.5 guard, that's good, because I know when I do use my 1.5 guard, I only have a little bit of work to do. I don't have to sit there and really try to blend. I just got to tap at these certain areas, dark areas, and really get that blend to look nice and polished. But as you can see, this is my 1 guard lever open, setting in that next guideline, just having a nice foundation of what I'm doing. So now here is my 1.5 guard, and I'm just blending the top of his hair. So basically, like I said, I went in with a 2 guard, so I'm taking that 1.5 guard. I guess you can kind of say like debulking, a little bit of blending, and then I'm gonna close my 1.5 guard and come right below that. And this should basically get this top of this blend to look nice and buttery. You know what I'm saying? It should be completely blended towards the top. Now, I may have to come back in a little later and do some more detail work, but as y'all can see with my 1.5 guard lever closed, that blend is starting to look better. And you see me brushing. It may look like I'm brushing a little hard, but that's because, like I said earlier, these are fresh braids, so he does have a little bit of gel and product in his hair. So I wanted to make sure that I brush that all out so I can actually see how the haircut is coming out. So now I'm going in with my one guard lever closed, and I'm attacking this bottom line. Well, not the bottom line, but that middle line. And I'm not going too far up with my one guard closed. I'm really just trying to stay at this line, come halfway into that section, and try to polish that line out. Now, I know it's not gonna come out, and that's why I'm going in with my half guard or my zero guard lever all the way open, maybe halfway open, not 100% sure, but you can try all the way open first. So I'm looking at my clipper, and it is a little closed, and I'm just gonna adjust my lever closed little by little until this line gets completely blended out. And as you can see, it's coming together. Now, like I said earlier, the blend isn't 100% faded, you know, but it's looking better. It's starting to look a little more blurry, a little more, it's just looking a little better. So now that my lever is all the way closed, the majority of this blend should be there except for that very bottom line, and that's what I'm going to be attacking next. But as you can see, I'm just using my lever with my half guard, adjusting my lever as needed, doing some lever play work. And this is something that you're gonna learn to do more of when you start to develop that barber's eye. Once you have that barber's eye, you know what your clippers do with what guard, how far you actually have to open and close your clipper lever. And that's basically what I'm doing now, is I'm using my barber's eye to detail this part of the cut. So now I'm going in, clipper halfway closed, halfway open, whatever you want to call it, and I'm attacking that bottom line. So I'm just tapping at this bottom line, and then the same thing that I previously did with my half guard, I'm going to do with no guard, meaning I'm going in with my clipper, no guard, and I'm just going to adjust my lever as needed, whether it be open or closed, to try to get this bottom part of the blend to come together. Now, as y'all can see, it's looking better. The more you're going to see me tap at this line, the better it's going to start to look, and that's because I'm adjusting my lever closed little by little, tapping at that line. But y'all check it out, man. That blend's coming together. It's looking nice and blurry, nice and buttery. You know what I'm saying? We doing what we came here to do. All right, so now that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my client. So I'm starting off in the middle of my client's forehead, and I'm gonna work my way over to this side of the cut. And I'm just basically trying to follow what he has. He has, he got cut, I think, 3 or 4 days prior to this video. So, it's not a super grown out haircut, but I'm just trying to make sure that it's sharp, make sure that it's nice, just nice and lined up perfectly. And remember, guys, when you're doing lineups, take your time. I feel that this is one of the most important parts of the haircut. You want to make sure you got that line as sharp as you can get it. Take your time. Just do your best. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to teach how to do edge ups, but as y'all can see, I'm just trying to give him a nice straight line. And then as you can see, we're adding a little C cup. It's not too dark around the C cup area, but I want to give him a nice little curve. And I am gonna add a little bit of enhancements later on, so it's gonna pop a little more. But now that lineup is there, it helps me see the blend a little better. So I'm going back in and just doing a little bit of detail work. And when you do detail work, you just use whatever guards you feel are necessary to get that part of the blend to look right. And now that I've done that, I'm gonna move on to the opposite side of my client's head, and we're gonna be doing the same exact thing that we did on the other side. It's just like division, man. What you do to one side, you gotta do to the other side. So that's basically what we're doing here. I don't know why I said division, but anyways, as you can see, I'm setting in my line with my one guard open. Now this is my 1.5 guard open, blending into that number 2, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever closed, try to get the top part of the blend to come together, and then I'm gonna switch down to my one guard and start taking out that line in the middle. And remember, guys, sometimes one side of the haircut may take you a little longer than the other. Some sides of people's head, like the two different sides, fade completely differently. So even though you are doing the same steps, they may look differently. So if you have to take a little longer on one side, that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just remember to use your mirrors. Make sure that the blend is consistent on both sides of your client's head. So now that side of the blend is pretty much done, I'm gonna go ahead and line him up, and I'm just gonna try to match both sides. So as you can see on this side that I'm doing right now, he's got a little light spot, so I don't want to push that back. I want to keep it as low as I can, but still try to make it as sharp as I can. So that's basically what I'm doing here, just trying to give him a nice line up. And then he also had a slight pushback on his vertical bar, so it's if you can see it here a little bit, you know, his vertical bar is lighter towards the front, but I'm gonna fill that in with a little bit of enhancements later on. And the only reason why I did that is I didn't want him to have a pushback. I wanted his edge up to grow back. Wanted his haircut to look a little cleaner, so that's why I left it that way. And I'm gonna go back in, like I said, add some enhancements, and then the next time he comes to get a cut, or the next time he decides to get a haircut, his edge up should be where it needs to be at. But as y'all can see now, guys, I'm doing the back. We're just doing the same thing on the back, maybe slightly different steps, but it's basically the same thing. We're just blending up the back, taking our time, being consistent with what we're doing, looking at both sides of the blend and the back to make sure that everything is consistent and the fade just flows nicely all together. I know a lot of times people have issues with the occipital bone. You know, some people don't know if they should fade below it or above it. And sometimes you just have to dive into it and see what looks best. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes fading above it is best. Sometimes below it is best. Sometimes just act like it's not there and you'll still get a good product. And that's basically what I did here. I didn't even stress it. I just faded the hair and it came out to be a good product. But with that being said, moving on back to the lineup, as you can see, I am adding some enhancements. This is that Temptation by Kiss, and we're just adding a little bit of enhancements to these lines, make them look a little sharper, you know what I'm saying? Especially because on this side it was a little light. I wanted to fill that in a little bit. So we're adding some enhancements to make these lines look a little sharper, and then I'm gonna throw some hairspray on my client here in a second, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of hair fibers also. And I like to do that. I like to double up on my enhancements because a lot of times it gives it a more natural and a better finished look, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be careful with what you're doing. Don't overspray the enhancements or the hair fibers. And as y'all can see here, it's coming together really nicely. Lock it all in with some more hairspray, and then I'm going back in with my razor, and all I'm doing is making these lines look super sharp. And as you can see here on this lineup, this side looks really good now, right? That's because I added the enhancements and I'm hitting them with that razor to make those lines look as sharp as I can possibly get them. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side, guys. Stretch that skin, lay that razor as flat as you can, and just, you know, shave that hair, get it all the way to that line, and just try to make it as sharp as possible. All right, man, well, check it out. This is how my man came into the shop looking. This is the before look. Before anything, he said, "Tank, I need your help, man. Get me right." I said, "Man, don't say less, fam. I got you." And this is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchopping.com. You can book there. Also, if you want to get a discount on any of these tools you saw me using in this video, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. Or you can go to wallpro.com and use my discount code TANK10. Either of those websites, discount code TANK10. Go ahead and use that, you know what I'm saying? Save yourself some money. I greatly appreciate it. But once again, man, let me know what y'all think about this cut down in the comments. I think I got my man right. Y'all let me know, man. But I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time, let's go. You.